Could you tell us that story when you knew that you had somebody's back around consent?
So I had a crush on this person for a long time, and this person, I worked with them, and we did projects together. And one day we were done working on our projects, and she's like, "Hey, do you want to hang around and like have a few drinks?" And I said, "Yeah, that'd be great."
What did you learn from that process?
I felt really good about it.
Mm-hmm.
The day after, and like even like past that, I just felt really good that I respected her boundaries, and I didn't like. It felt better than me knowing if I got laid. Like
right.
Her safety and her comfort mattered much more to me as a friend and as a person.
Right. You had told me before having some feelings about being intoxicated during this experience.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like being intoxicated and consent are very hard things to work with.
Right.
It's not impossible, but I feel like it's always better to get consent when people aren't intoxicated.
Right.
And it kind of brings me back to knowing that even though we learn how to give consent as children at a very young age, like when it comes to relationships, we totally forget that, and society pretty much tells us to do the opposite thing, to assume,
right.
So it doesn't get awkward, and that makes consent hard now for most
right.
people,
right.
and when in reality it isn't.
Yeah.
And consent is always working on it. That's part of consent. It's always learning from experiences and knowing that things could go not as planned, and
right.
we have to learn from that. Like this experience. Like I honestly think it would have been better if we weren't drinking and we were hanging out. And in
right.
retrospect,
Right. Do you think it's easy to give consent or ask about consent when being intoxicated?
And like I said, that's a very difficult question. I feel like it's very different from situation to situation.
Right.
Like
right.
Two people meeting at a party is totally different from two friends who have maybe spent a night together before and they
right.
talked about something like this.
Right.
Which would be more consentful.
Right. Right. Well, thank you for talking with me about that.
No
Thanks.
problem.
Thanks for helping to make this a little less awkward of a process. All right.
Thanks for letting me speak.
All right. Thanks.